Good afternoon, everyone. I am Justin Daytumbukon, the reporter of Group Electrifiers. Now, we will discuss the different domains with the most and least important for us to do. Starting with the domain one, which is understanding ICT in education. We find the most important for us to do is to incorporate ICT policies in the design and implementation of teaching learning activities. Now, for the students to better understand ICT education, we find this the most important for us to do. Now, what we find the least important for us to do is to initiate flexible learning through online communications, asynchronous or synchronous modality. We find this the least important for us to do because not all students can access online platforms. So it is better that the students can learn practically in face to face. Moving on to the domain two, which is curriculum and assessment. We find the most important for us to do is to integrate ICT in teaching plans that require learners to connect other lessons to the society. What we have learned in our classroom is also useful and can be connected in our society. And what we find the least important for us to do is to revise digital learning resources in response to varied needs of students because all the technologies can be improved, not to revise. Going with the least important for us to do is to discuss national ICT policies affecting classroom practices. We find this the least important for us to do because this was the easiest way to understand ICT in education. Moving on the domain three, which is the pedagogy, what we find the most important for us to do is to use varied teaching strategies like project-based learning that integrate technology tools to support thinking and collaboration. This is important for the students can learn effectively using the different teaching strategies and by the use of technology tools. Talking about domain four, which is technology tools, we find the most important for us to do is to use productivity and other tools in everyday work. Now, we find this important for us to do because we need to be more creative in using technology tools, especially in the fields of ICT. Propose or recommend technology and policy innovations related to promoting continuous learning among students is what we find the least important for us to do. Because we will not only settle in promoting, but to engage and implement the technology and policy innovations that would promote continuous learning and among students. Moving on in the domain 5, which is organization and administration. What we find the most important for us to do is to facilitate flexible learning environment that enhances collaboration with the use of technology tools. This is important for us because the students can learn more through facilitating and engaging themselves by using technology tools. And what we find the least important for us to do is to lead group activities using technology because engaging the students' confidence in using technology is much more better than leading in a group activity. Domain 6, which is teaching professional learning. What we find the most important for us to do is to active membership to local and global learning communities to maintain access to create application of technology that help enhance students' learning. Now, this is important so that the students can gain more knowledge talking about ICT education. Now, what we find the least important for us to do is to identify educational sites and portals suitable to their subject area. Now, this is can be helpful, but it is not necessarily for the students to do. Lastly, the domain 7, which is the teacher disposition. What we find the most important for us to do is to institute mechanism to ensure child online safety and prevent cyberbullying. Now, this is important so that the students can gain more knowledge on how to prevent cyberbullying and can protect themselves through online discrimination. And now, what we find the least important for us to do is to utilize smart devices for building the positive relationships between teachers and students. Now, this is a very common thing for the teachers and students, but this can be help the students to gain more knowledge. Thank you.